Hey everyone, let me start off with an apology this morning. I forgot to warn you all that with Tiki-Toki, if you wait until the last minute and try to post your work, not even the last minute, but if you wait until later in the process toward the due date, when many people are trying to post at the same time, you will get kicked off, so you'll get automatically logged out and you'll have to log back in. It's really frustrating. I've experienced it myself. I apologize for that. It's a flaw of the tool, um, mostly because we're using the free version and we're all using the same login. So that's my way of getting around having to try to pay a large fee for using the timeline. I think that the assignment and what it allows us to think about and do, work on together and create makes it worth it, but it is frustrating at times. So I got quite a few emails from people who noted that they were getting logged out. So here are my solutions for working around this as we move forward. Go ahead and submit your work to Blackboard. I'm assuming that many of you have. I haven't been able to check that yet. I just got to main campus and I'm going to work on class for about 45 minutes before I have a meeting. So go ahead and submit to Blackboard. You won't be marked late for your work. In all honesty, I don't really mark anything late during the intersession. The due dates are there. They're important because I want you to get everything done within the 2 weeks. But I figure if you can get all this stuff done within 2 weeks, that's a major accomplishment in and of itself. So even though I keep the late policy in place in the syllabus, just to kind of underscore the importance of the due dates, please do note that you won't be marked late or won't lose points for late submissions on these, especially because Tiki-Toki can be problematic. So I will give you points based on your entry on Blackboard that you submitted there. But I do ask that you please go back and submit your work to Tiki-Toki as well as soon as you get the chance so that others can see your entries and use those to help them complete the connection steps. So those are always due the second day of the unit. Speaking of connection steps, if you find that you don't have a good connection to your entry on the timeline, so you've posted on something and there's not a great connection for that, it is more than fine, and you should choose something to connect to that hasn't been posted on the timeline. That doesn't mean that you have to create an entry for it yourself, but you can just say there was nothing that connected well to my entry, and so I'm connecting instead to this, and this is how the connection works. So you still need to write your little paragraph for the connection step that explains what the connection is and why it's important. I hope that all makes sense. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will be responding to all the emails that you sent me individually as well, but I wanted to get this out there as soon as I could. Last thing to say is that I always give the opportunity of revising the Unit 2 timeline assignment so that you can earn up to full credit, because I know that this is something that we're not used to doing. It's a unique assignment, at least as far as I know. And so because we don't have that experience using Tiki-Toki yet, and we don't have experience thinking about what the standards are for the timeline assignment itself, I'll give you feedback throughout the course of today, and then you can you can revise those posts in order to earn up to full credit. If you do decide to revise, you don't have to submit to Blackboard again, unless Tiki-Toki is giving you trouble, of course. But what you can do is just update the post at Tiki-Toki and send me an email to let me know that you've done that, and then I will go and check it and update your score. The last thing I want to say, hopefully I didn't say this the thing before was last, but the very last thing I want to talk about is historical significance, because this is the part of the timeline assignment that is hardest to get used to. What I'm asking you to do when I'm asking you to describe the historical significance of your topic is to provide some analysis. So this is your own commentary, your own interpretation of why it is important to New Mexico history. You need to explain that significance in as specific as a way as you can. And also please note that just because something was the first or just because something continues to exist, those two things in and of themselves aren't necessarily significant. They can be part of your significance, but you still need to explain why. When I've written for publication, I've had editors who have kind of sent my work back and said, what you need to do here is explain the so what, who cares. So that's another way of thinking about historical significance. If you look back at your post and you've just kind of summarized the topic, you need to then think about, did I answer that question of so what or who cares? Am I explaining why this is important? It is possible to write many important things about your topic without explaining historical significance. And so what I mean by that is you can explain some of the important things that your person did or that the event caused or created without explaining why that matters. So that's the step that you need to keep in mind, that explaining why this matters. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for all your hard work. I know the intersession's rough. It's been a little more rough than usual on me. My wife, she's recovering well, but things are just not normal in our household right now. So everything went as well as it could have with her surgery, and she's home and resting. But again, it's been a little more hectic than usual, so I do apologize if I am not getting back as quickly as I sometimes like to during